Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Thursday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. It's already raining, so in Accra, I don't know about the other regions, but I'm sure that it will not be far from the eastern region and some other places as well for the showers to be coming down. If you are out there and you're driving, kindly drive safe. Overspeeding kills, and be very measured in the way you use the road with other road users. Is very, very important on how you conduct your business. The children are going to school. Find them warm clothing, please. And if it means you have to take them to school and hand them over to the teachers or the headmaster or whoever is in charge of taking care of the children, please do it yourself. Otherwise, you can get somebody that you trust to do that on behalf of your family, because the children are a very, very important part of the family. This morning, I want to say thank you to Sonar Fashions in Tamale for my outfit. 0246 590 162. That's 0246 590 162. This morning, a key question has popped up. And yesterday, a senior citizen friend of mine, as I went to church, asked me this question. And the question he asked me was related to the incident that happened at East Legon, relative to Prophet Elisha Salifo Amwaku's son, and the fact that the police have picked him and his wife up, and they're already before the courts, etc. The senior citizen asked me a very simple question. The question that the senior citizen asked me was, everybody is talking about the prophet, everybody is talking about the prophet's wife, everybody is talking about the prophet's son. But nobody is asking the question as to who taught the prophet's son how to drive. Because it didn't look like the prophet's son, and this is a senior citizen who was asking me the question, he said, Johnny, who taught the prophet's son how to drive at 16? And I couldn't answer the question because I told him, I don't know. And he says, well, it is not as if the prophet's son just started learning how to drive on the day that he picked the car. Somebody would have taught him how to drive. What does the law say? And who taught him how to drive? And why did the person teach him how to drive? These are the questions that a senior citizen asked me after we had done evening song and benediction. He was asking me that question. I said, boss, these questions you're asking me, how do I answer the questions? So there are very germane questions that keep coming up. And as I said earlier, the whole world is watching how this matter will be dealt with. And that could be an example for many other years to come. Many, many years to come. It will be a good example or a bad example. So the world is watching. Now, today is Thursday. We'll do some throwbacks. Before we start the throwbacks, let's say a prayer for our friends who are also galamseyers who have decided to mess up our environment. Let's say a prayer for them, please. I don't pay me the galamsey food now, Penimubia or Shagalamsey, God will kill you. A dick culture. That may boss me book quotation. Me can be in Wakaso dear. The book quotation. I said, be a make the quotation better actually. A beard could be a quotation would defend itself. Yeah. The Lord said, I will kill her children with death. It galam say for the name some penny for Ghana and a galam say they fund the party. Yamibe kumuna. Yeah. Well, so that's Prophet Kofi Odro there. He said a prayer for all the galamseyers. Technology can mess you up sometimes when you are not in the best of... but let's move away from that. And you can watch us live on 3FM 927. Yesterday, the former National Service personnel, they came here to give us another scorecard. Please put up the thing for us. The former NASPA executive, National Service Personnel Association, they came here yesterday. They said, oh, for all that you have done for us, for all the advocacy, for all the good journalism, for all the speaking up that you did for us, for all the interventions that you put in for us. Sometimes we could go 2-3 months, we'll be starved, and then the National Service Scheme will be explaining to us. In fact, in the early days when I started talking about it, the conversation was that, oh, I don't even understand how the scheme works because they pay them in the middle of the month. And sometimes they could go 2-3 months without being paid. And then when suddenly 1 or 2 months are paid, then you find the NSS write a statement to come and say that, oh, we have paid them. How shameful. Very shameful. Those people who write those statements and come explain on the media, etc. I remember some of those people back before 2016. Oh, how they pretended to care about the young people of this country because they themselves are young people. Today, Emre had done it. Somebody says, oh, you're using me to become popular. So yesterday they brought this. This is a scorecard. And I that's my producer right there, 6-2 on the suspenders with all the executives, some of them. And I always say that, look, you can keep the other awards. The awards on the streets. These are our awards. The real awards on the streets. This is what belongs to them. Put the citation up, let them see the citation. It's a citation to the Sunrise team. And when they finish, they tag me in many different ways. It says, we wish to extend our heartfelt gratitude to 3FM 92.7 Sunrise crew for the unwavering support and instrumental role in championing integrity and fairness within the NSS scheme. You say we don't have integrity, we are not fair. They think otherwise because when we did the advocacy, it inured to their benefit. Your dedication to our cause has been pivotal in resolving our concerns, and we extend our sincerest appreciation for standing with us in this important fight. Your commitment to journalistic excellence and advocacy for justice truly embodies the spirit of responsible media. Thank you for being our voice and ensuring our issues were heard and addressed. We are immensely grateful for the invaluable support. This is Ezekiel Kwashi Antonia Hoto, and Hamid Mahamudu is the lead convener of the grouping that we saw. We appreciate it. This is our scorecard again. Every week is a scorecard week, and this is the real award. The ones that people know around the table that you deserve, but they will say we will not give it to him because he's not singing in our tune. We don't care, actually. We will continue to do what we have to do. Now, today is Throwback Thursday. Once upon a time, the Vice President of the Republic, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he went to a school. At the time when he went to the school had no desks, and the children were lying flat on their bellies to learn. Please find me that Facebook post. He posted it. Some said, oh, he had done well. Because of that, we'll vote for him because even in the opposition, he's thinking about the people. Others said, oh, he's using it for political gains. But this was Vice President Bawumia in 2016, the 26th of February 2016. Said, I visited the Kperisi MA Primary School this morning following reports on conditions in the school. I have ordered school furniture for 500 students in the school. I can tell you on good authority, and you can ask Kofi Asari of Africa Education Watch, and you can ask Dr. Peter Patti Anti, or you can ask Bright Apia of Child Rights International. There are still children in this country who study with lying on the floor. Recently, I saw a gentleman do a social media post where there were goats waiting to inhabit the classrooms where the children are. Recently, I saw all those schools under trees and etc. And you ask yourself the question, where is the Vice President in all of this conversation? Because in opposition, he gave us the impression that he was ready and willing and able to be able to ensure that children do not. This was around the same time when Mrs. Misata was being heavily criticized for saying that even chalk, they do not have it. And it became a chewing stick in the mouths of many political actors. It was good for the time. Is it good for this time again? Are there children, the fact is, are there children in our schools today who do not have desks to study with? And where is the vice president in all of this? His handlers at the time, have they changed? Or are they still the same handlers? Is this still a priority to the vice president of the republic, then as candidate Bawumia or running mate Bawumia? Is it still important to him? No, I'm just asking the question because back then it was he said it was not for public show. It was not for politics. Agreed. He was doing, now he has power. He can call the Minister for Education, Dr. Educhime, and say, oh, the SS children that you want them to finish their exams on the same day and get promoted on the same day without even marking their scripts, blah, blah, blah. Stop it. It's not good. He has the power to do that. The school children who are lying on their bellies to learn, blah, 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 blah. Vice President, don't do that. It's not good. Where is our Vice President in all of this? Because there are people who keep sending me emails, sending me WhatsApp messages, whatever, and showing me pictures of children lying on their bellies to learn. If I ask people to put those pictures under this stream now on 3FM 97, you will see them. So what has changed? It's a very simple question. What has changed? Today is a throwback Thursday, and then there was also the domestic debt exchange program. Do you remember that? The domestic debt exchange program. Michael Blankson, the internationally acclaimed comedian, he has not gotten over it. He wants to sue. He wants to do this. And there are many other people. Some have died as a result of that. If you speak to the pensioners and the rest, they will tell you. Out of shock. The people in this picture are not small boys and small girls. The people in this picture are people who you will say, Oma Bobra, Ame Bobla. The people in this picture are not people who just got fast money. The people in this picture are people who have worked, toiled. The people in this picture are people who have served their country. The people in this picture are people who have dignity. The people in this picture, if you look at how they are dressed, and when you have rich aunties and rich uncles, you know, we force them to come onto the street to beg us not to touch pensioners' money in the domestic debt exchange program, including a former Chief Justice. We forced them to come onto the street because somebody, after mismanaging everything we had, did not actually care, was still going to dip his hands in their pockets. The people who got percentages according to, and it has been said over and over again, I'm not the one originating. I'm not the one originating it. The people who get percentages of, from every borrowing that we do, they were still ready to dip their hands in the pocket of people who have served their country. Former Director General of Securities and Exchange Commission. They are very respected people among them. We were ready to dip our hands in their pockets. They had to step out onto the streets. They had to shelve part of their dignity and say, no, we are going in there. And we were so busy telling people that, around the same time, we were busy telling people that we have turned the corner. We have turned which corner? The economy we have now, since we were told about 2 years ago that we had turned the corner, we still are turning the corner. And the falsehood, every time there's a different kind of falsehood that is being pushed into the narrative. So now the president's chewing stick and many other people's chewing stick is that, when we talk about Galamsey, then you say that, the MPP lost all their seats in Galamsey areas. Is there evidence to prove and to support that bogus claim that the MPP lost seats in all the Galamsey sites? Doesn't Galamsey happen in the Ashanti region? How many seats are there in the Ashanti region? Is it not 47? How many did the NDC win? How many did the MPP retain? Go to the Eastern region. How many did the MPP win? How many did the NDC win? How many did the MPP retain? Go to the Western region. So what are we talking about? Is there proof? And you have the sitting president repeating stuff that cannot be substantiated. Why? You have a sitting president, and we are pushing this falsehood into the narrative. Why? Is that how to find? Then the next layer of conversation you hear is that, oh, we must ask the leader of opposition, John Mahama, to come and tell us what he also will do about fighting Galamsey. You have power to fight Galamsey. The bond and word of the opposition leader is what will make you also act. Mr. President, focus. The people want you to speak to them. The people who elected you, the people you begged to give you power, they want you to speak to them. Tell them what's on your heart. You are more interested in why John Mahama doesn't want to debate Bawumia. He doesn't want to debate Bawumia for the same reasons you refuse to debate him. For the same reasons you refuse to debate him, he doesn't want to debate Bawumia. For the same reasons that you were prepared to put your presidency on the line, now it appears you put our lives on the line. Galamsey is calling, and all we are interested in is equalization. Then when we finish, we come and say, let's build a consensus to fight this canker. Professor Dewey says, God will kill you. He quoted Bible to support his prayer. Because you are killing us. There's no leadership, there's no vision, there's no action. We are just autopiloting. We are just autopiloting. If you appoint somebody as a managing director of a place like Gihok and the place is being run down, and you still don't change them. Even our Ghana Black Star coaches, we change them. Even our Ghana Black Star coaches, we change them. You appoint somebody, he's running a place down, he's still talking tough and go back, threatening people and blah, 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 blah. And it's okay. We're still maintaining him and running the place down. A place that you came to meet that was up, we're running it down. Why? This is not the... If you speak to senior citizens, you speak to technocrats, you speak to the middle class who were on the streets for Occupy Ghana, and those who are honest enough, not those who are chopping in government, those who are honest enough, who said that, look, principle is principle, they will tell you that this is not the kind of leadership that they expected from the President of the Republic. In fact, there are even some who are appointees of the government. They meet you in private and they tell you, this is not Papa. Say, Papa, no, we're good anymore as a power. That's what they say, Mr. President. Or say, Papa, no, we're good anymore as a power. That's what they say, Mr. President. Find me Lawyer Janto's video. He asked some questions on TV3 New Day. I'll let him repeat the questions. Lawyer Janto, what do you say?
The lying bit. I shall protect the public purse. True or false? I am too old to steal your money. I already have my own money. True or false? Yet is castle, come there. True or false? Try me and see. True or false? I am not corrupt. I will never be corrupt. True or false? I can develop Ghana without borrowing. The money is here. True or false? I will transform Ghana in 18 months. True or false? I will not operate a family and friends government. True or false? I will fight corruption with the Anas principle. True or false? I will make the Kole Lagoon and Odo River tourist sites. True or false? I will build a factory in every district. True or false? I will give each constituency $1 million every year. True or false? I will arrest the dollar. True or false? The hikes in fuel prices will be a thing of the past. True or false? I will make Accra the cleanest city in the whole of Africa. True or false? I will build 111 district hospitals in 18 months. True or false? I will build 350 new secondary schools from scratch. True or false? We will never go to the IMF for bailout again. True or false?
These were questions that Lawyer Janto asked, a riddle. And these were statements that have been made by the President of the Republic. And sometimes it hurts when nobody wants you to remind the president that you once said this. Nobody wants us to remind the vice president that you once said this. And you still have, because of what you said then, you still have the mandate of the people. And you are asking for another mandate. I mean, it doesn't make sense. If I give you a contract to come and paint my studio, and you have not finished painting the studio, and you're not painting the studio the way you agreed to paint it, or we agreed that you paint it, and you're not painting the studio to the specification that we all signed off. And then now you see that I'm building another studio, and you say, oh, when I finish this one, can you give me that studio also to paint? You have not justified your inclusion for me to give you another contract because of the shambolic work you have done now. You are asking for another contract. Does it make sense to anybody? You in your private life, if you gave somebody a job and the person doesn't do the job well, will you give the person another job to do? You personally, will you do that? So why do you want us to all you foist this on us? Why do you want to foist it on us? Why? Why do you want to do that? The president said he would transform Ghana in 18 months. What we failed to ask him was he going to transform Ghana for better or for worse? We didn't ask him that. The same way we failed when he said, I'm a man in a hurry. We failed to ask him, you're in a hurry to go where? We didn't ask him those questions. Play the video for me, where he said, look, I will transform Ghana in 18 months. Listen to the president.
I'm promising you, within 18 months of a new government of the NPP under my leadership, the face of our country, Ghana, is going to change. Within 18 months of a new government of the NPP under my leadership, the face of our country, Ghana, is going to change. Within 18 months of a new government of the NPP under my leadership, the face of our country, Ghana, is going to change.
For the past 3 or 4 days, I've not had water flowing through my tap. And we've had to go water hunting. Is that the transformation? And it tells you how close Galamsey is getting, because Ghana Water had previously warned us. Today, if you have $1,000, if you had $1,000 in 2016 and you have $1,000 now, know the difference. If you're a businessman, you understand what I'm talking about. So it is not about party. It's about if the people are comfortable and everybody is okay. Nobody will come and beg you for bread. Nobody. Nobody will beg you for bread. Nobody will beg you for bread. Listen to Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. He's the running mate of the NPP. He was at the time an MP. He was not a minister. He was on the streets with the people demonstrating. Listen to Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh.
This demonstration is not to topple the government. This demonstration is to indicate to Ghanaians the insensitivity of the Muhammad's government. The insensitivity of the Muhammad's government. This is not to topple government. We don't advocate for a regime change this way. We are going to vote next year and we are going to vote them out massively. That is good governance. That is partisanship. We are going to democratically remove the Muhammad from power. Not do this demonstration. But the demonstration is to demonstrate to John Mahama and Ghanaians that what is going on is bad. If you are feeling the high, if you are feeling the heat, like Ghanaians are feeling the heat, if you are buying electricity and they are having it for free, if your salary, you are spending 60% of your salary on electricity bills, then you understand what I'm suffering. I am suffering. John Mahama is not suffering. How do you expect the members of the members as a collective to speak on your behalf when you decided to give majority to such a bad government? NBC, Ghanaians should realize that they are term markets. Your term markets. When you go and vote, you have to know that the consequences are ahead of you for the next 4 years. The term that Ghanaians gave to John Mahama has shown that they should never again trust John Mahama.
So this was Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, fiery energy. He was on the streets. Nobody arrested him and kept him away for 2 weeks. At the time, he was not talking about Galamsey, which is going to kill all of us anyway. At the time, he was talking about the hardship in the country. He spoke about Kenke prices, he spoke about electricity, he spoke about the salary, he spoke about jobs that are not there. He spoke about all those things. What he complained about then is actually worse now. But he still believes that we are in better times. Can you imagine that? What he complained then about and went on the streets, wore black, and was there on the streets with the people, then is actually worse now, because at the time, Kenke was selling at 1 cedi. Today it is 5 cedis. At the time, you could even get a smaller ball of Kenke if you go to my beloved Bukom for 50 pesos. You know it. Today, Kenke is 5 cedis and 7 cedis. And he says, therefore, dear Fanchiche, therefore, Namine Shirami, na Ashiwo. So Nami Shirami, Ashiwo. Where is the principle? It is a matter of principle. I'm just asking you, I'm playing the video, throw back and asking him the same question, the things he complained about. It is actually worse today. Banyamine Shirai, na Ashiwo, and we'll be dancing. And the people will be suffering. And we'll be okay. We're looking for re-election. We're looking to become vice president and president. It's good. Ambition is good. What you complained about then, it is happening now. Complain about it. Let your conscience speak to you. Complain about it, Dr. Matthew Boku Prempeh. Ask the question of your government. The economic management team, ask them a question. The things you complained then about. At the time, how much was Calipo selling for? Today, the Calipo that was drunk then and which became an integral part of the campaign, how much does it sell for? How much? I'll read a very final letter from Gihok, and every day we'll do Gihok today. And then we will close today. Put the document up for me. Let's do Gihok today. There's a letter of interdiction. And yesterday I mentioned that there's a matter before the Labour Commission. This is relative to that matter. 28th of March 2024, Ms. Dorcas Kunedu Fofie, Deputy HR Admin Manager, Gihok Distilleries Company Limited, Kumasi. Dear Madam, notice of interdiction and withholding of salary payment. We write to readdress the concerns that are raised in context to the reasons for the withholding of your salary for the past 3 months and the subsequent ones ahead. As we speak, the person doesn't still receive salaries. The investigation towards the suspected conspiracy to steal. So let's deal with paragraph 1 before. I told you about some over 500,000 cedis that was stolen from Gihok. The police arrested people. The people are paying back. Those people have not had their salaries frozen. They are paying back. Right? They are paying back. The investigation towards the suspected conspiracy to steal and death threat is ongoing. You must cooperate by providing the necessary information required of you to finish the case. The case reported to who? The Ghana police, or reported to the Sahindri at Gihok. Hence, your request for an immediate payment cannot be made until further notice. The Labour Commission knows about this. Gihok asked for postponement and they didn't turn up. I am watching. Consequently, reference to section 4, paragraph 5 of the Gihok Employee Handbook indicates that threats to self and others, physical fights, bullying or harassing actions such as stalking on the factory premises or at any company-related events, falsification of work application and discrimination subject to interdiction. That's it. It's hanging. And then Maxwell Kofi Juma signed it. He's the managing director. If I am deputy HR and admin, and I suspect that something untoward is going to happen, like I'm a losing here at Media General, and I'm doing an inspection and going around, have I contravened the dictates of the company? That is the ultimate question that the Labour Commission must ask. And as I said, I am watching. But if it is your private company, will you allow it to be run down? And then you still keep the manager there, enjoying all the perks? Would you? Banyami Shirayen and Asho. Good morning. Please call me 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0194. Take a quick break.